The slumbering giant. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, countless civilizations had risen and fallen, their histories etched into the cosmic tapestry. The Galactic Council, a confederation of the most advanced species, had long believed they understood the ebb and flow of intelligent life. They were wrong. On the fringes of the Orion Arm, a blue marble hung in space, teeming with life but overlooked by the grand cosmic players. Earth, home to humanity, had escaped notice for millennia, its inhabitants blissfully unaware of the complex political dance occurring in the stars above. High Counselor Zixnath of the Zarkonian Empire gazed at the holographic projection of Earth, his four eyes blinking in rapid succession. Primitive, he chittered, mandibles clicking, yet intriguing. His chief scientist, Vrilka, nodded in agreement. Indeed, High Counselor, while their technology is laughably outdated, their rate of advancement is unprecedented. In mere centuries, they've progressed from simple tools to rudimentary space exploration. Zixnath's exoskeleton shimmered with interest. A potential threat. Unlikely in their current state, Vrilka responded, but given a few more centuries, who knows? The High Counselor's decision was swift. Prepare a first contact team. We shall guide their development. The Zarkonian Empire could use new client species, especially ones with such potential. As the Zarkonian battlecruiser charted a course for Earth, they remained unaware of the slumbering giant they were about to awaken. On Earth, Dr. Ilara Chen peered into her custom-built quantum interferometer, her brow furrowed in concentration. The young physicist had dedicated her career to searching for evidence of extraterrestrial life, facing ridicule from her peers who deemed her work fringe science. "Come on, give me something," she muttered, adjusting the settings. The lab around her was cluttered with prototypes and discarded components, a testament to years of relentless pursuit. Suddenly, the interferometer's display lit up with a cascade of data. Ilara's eyes widened. What the? The readings were unlike anything she'd ever seen. Coherent signals, defying known laws of physics, streamed across her screen. Her heart raced as she realized the implications. "It's not possible," she whispered, but the evidence was undeniable. She wasn't just detecting signals from space. She was intercepting what appeared to be faster-than-light communications. With trembling hands, Ilara reached for her phone. Who could she call? Who would believe her? As she debated her next move, she failed to notice a small disc-shaped drone hovering outside her lab window, its singular eye focused intently on her discovery. Thousands of light-years away, on the Zarkonian battlecruiser, an alert pinged. Sub-Commander Karl Tix reviewed the data from the Earth observation drone. "High Counselor," he called out, "we may have a problem." Zixnath glided over, his hover platform humming softly. "Explain." "One of the humans. She's detected our communication array. It seems their scientific understanding is more advanced than we anticipated." The High Counselor's outer eyes narrowed while his inner eyes widened, a sign of deep contemplation in Zarkonian body language. "Interesting. Perhaps we've underestimated these creatures. Accelerate our approach. We must make contact before they fully comprehend what they've discovered." As the Zarkonian ship surged forward, pushing its engines to the limit, Earth continued its serene rotation, unaware of the monumental changes approaching at faster-than-light speeds. In Washington, D.C., the Pentagon buzzed with unusual activity. General Marcus Blackwood strode purposefully through the corridors, his face a mask of concern. He burst into a secure briefing room where a group of high-ranking officials sat in tense silence. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began without preamble, "what I'm about to tell you will change everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe." He nodded to an aide, who dimmed the lights and activated a holographic display. Images of strange energy signatures and blurry photographs filled the air. 12 hours ago, Dr. Ilara Chen, a physicist working on SETI-related projects, detected anomalous signals that defy our current understanding of physics. Shortly after, Our deep space monitoring stations picked up an object approaching Earth at impossible speeds. The room erupted in murmurs. Blackwood raised a hand for silence. We believe we are about to experience first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. The Secretary of Defense leaned forward. General, what are our options? Blackwood's expression was grim. Limited, sir. Their technology is clearly far beyond ours. Traditional military responses would likely be futile. So we just roll over? A Joint Chiefs member asked incredulously. As the meeting devolved into heated debate, Blackwood's mind raced. He knew that somewhere out there, a young commander named Jake Foster was leading training exercises in the Pacific. Foster, known for his unconventional tactics and ability to make the impossible possible, might just be humanity's wild card in the games to come. The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. Governments worldwide were discreetly informed. Contingency plans were dusted off and updated, and key individuals were quietly moved to secure locations. Dr. Ilara Chen found herself whisked away to a top-secret facility, her research now the center of intense scrutiny. As she explained her findings to a room full of scientists and military personnel, she couldn't shake the feeling that her lifelong dream of discovering alien life was about to become a reality in ways she never imagined. The signals suggest a level of technology that's, well, it's like comparing our modern computers to ancient abacuses, she explained. They're not just communicating across vast distances, they're doing it instantaneously. It breaks everything we thought we knew about the speed of light and information transfer. A scientist in the back raised his hand. Could it be a natural phenomenon we don't understand yet? Ilara shook her head. The patterns are too regular, too structured. This is undoubtedly artificial and intelligent. As the implications sank in, a sense of both wonder and trepidation filled the room. Humanity stood on the precipice of a new era, but whether it would be one of enlightenment or subjugation remained to be seen. In orbit around Earth, hidden from human detection systems, the Zarkonian battlecruiser emerged from faster-than-light travel. High Counselor Zixnath observed the blue planet with a mixture of anticipation and caution. Fascinating, he mused. Such a fragile-looking world, yet it houses beings capable of detecting our presence. Vrelka, your assessment. The chief scientist's tendrils waved in thought. They are a paradox, High Counselor. Technologically primitive in many ways, yet showing flashes of brilliance that rival even our own greatest minds. They bear watching, and perhaps careful cultivation. Zixnath nodded. Agreed. Prepare the first contact protocols. But be ready for alternative measures. These humans may prove to be more than simple clients for our empire. As the Zarkonian ship positioned itself for the historic moment of revelation, humanity held its breath, standing unwittingly at the threshold of its greatest challenge and its most extraordinary opportunity. The slumbering giant was about to awaken, and the galaxy would never be the same. First contact. The dawn broke over a world on edge. In every major city, people went about their daily routines, unaware of the monumental shift about to occur in humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. Commander Jake Foster stood on the deck of the U.S. Nimitz, watching the sun rise over the Pacific. His unit had been recalled from training exercises without explanation, and the tension aboard the carrier was palpable. Commander. A young ensign approached, saluting. You're needed in the war room, sir. Top priority. Foster nodded, his face a mask of calm that belied the curiosity burning within. As he made his way through the ship's corridors, he couldn't shake the feeling that something unprecedented was about to unfold. In the war room, Admiral Helena Reeves waited, her usually stoic face betraying a hint of concern. Commander Foster, what I'm about to tell you is classified at the highest level. Our world is about to change, and we need your unique perspective. As Admiral Reeves briefed him on the impending first contact, Foster's mind raced with possibilities. Years of unconventional tactical training hadn't prepared him for this, but it had taught him to think beyond traditional boundaries. With all due respect, Admiral, Foster interjected, if their technology is as advanced as we believe, why haven't they simply taken what they want? Why announce themselves at all? Reeves smiled grimly. That, Commander, is the million-dollar question. And it's why you're here. We need to be ready for anything. Meanwhile, in low Earth orbit, the Zarkonian ship shimmered into visibility, its cloaking technology deactivating in a dazzling display of light and energy. Across the globe, amateur astronomers were the first to spot the massive vessel, their excited chatter quickly spreading across social media platforms. Within hours, the world erupted into chaos. Stock markets plummeted, religious leaders called for calm or proclaimed the end times, and governments scrambled to maintain order. The age of human isolation had ended in spectacular fashion. High Counselor Zixnath observed the planetary reaction with a mixture of amusement and concern. Such discord from a simple revelation. Perhaps we should have taken a more gradual approach. Vrelika, ever the voice of scientific curiosity, disagreed. This chaos is invaluable data, High Counselor. We're witnessing their societal stress responses in real time. It will inform our integration strategies. Zixnath's mandibles clicked in consideration. Very well. Proceed with the next phase. Let us see how their leaders respond to direct communication. On Earth, in the halls of power across nations, frantic discussions were underway. The UN Security Council convened an emergency session, while military forces worldwide were placed on high alert. Dr. Ilara Chen found herself thrust into the spotlight, her years of research suddenly the most valuable information on the planet. As she was ushered into a secure briefing with world leaders, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and terror. Dr. Chen, the U.S. President addressed her, his face haggard from sleepless nights. You've studied the possibility of this moment for years. What can we expect? Ilara took a deep breath, acutely aware of the weight her words would carry. Mr. President, distinguished leaders, the truth is, we can't know for certain. But based on their technology and the fact that they've chosen to reveal themselves, I believe they're here to establish some form of relationship. The question is, on what terms? As if in answer to her question, every electronic device on Earth capable of receiving a signal suddenly activated. Televisions, radios, smartphones, all broadcast the same message in a multitude of languages. People of Earth, we are the Zarkonian Empire. We come in peace and with an offer of guidance. Your species stands at a crossroads. Accept our benevolent oversight, and we shall usher you into a golden age of progress and enlightenment. Resist, and face the harsh realities of a universe beyond your comprehension. You have 24 Earth hours to provide your unified response. The message ended as abruptly as it began, leaving a stunned silence in its wake. In the Pacific, aboard the U.S. Nimitz, Commander Foster watched the message replay on the war room screens. His mind was already formulating strategies, not just for potential conflict, but for something far more complex, safeguarding humanity's autonomy in a suddenly much larger universe. Admiral, he said, turning to Reeves, we need to buy time, and we need to understand their vulnerabilities. Reeves raised an eyebrow. Vulnerabilities? Foster, did you see that ship? What could we possibly use against them? Foster's eyes gleamed with determination. Not all vulnerabilities are technological, Admiral. Every society, no matter how advanced, has its blind spots. We need to find theirs. As Foster outlined his audacious plan, involving a mix of diplomacy, misdirection, and calculated risks, Admiral Reeves found herself both impressed and terrified. It was precisely the kind of out-of-the-box thinking that had made Foster's reputation, but the stakes had never been higher. Back in Washington, Dr. Chen was working feverishly with a team of linguists and anthropologists, analyzing every nuance of the Zarkonian message. Look at the language they use, she pointed out. Benevolent oversight, golden age. These are terms of soft colonialism. They're not here as equals. They see us as a resource to be managed. The Secretary of State nodded grimly. So how do we respond to an empire that could likely wipe us out without breaking a sweat? Chen's response was immediate and passionate. We show them why humanity is unique. Our adaptability, our creativity, our sheer stubborn determination. We faced extinction-level events in our history and survived. We've gone from horse-drawn carriages to space exploration in a single century. We need to make them see us as more than just another primitive species to be uplifted at their convenience. As the hours ticked by, humanity's response began to take shape. It was a delicate balance of respectful acknowledgement and assertion of independence, crafted by the finest minds Earth had to offer and infused with the indomitable spirit that had driven human progress for millennia. High above, on the Zarkonian ship, anticipation built. Sub-Commander Krultix approached Zixnath with new data. High Counselor, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the planet's surface. It appears they're attempting to enhance their sensor capabilities using principles similar to our quantum entanglement arrays. Zixnath's 4 eyes blinked in surprise. Impossible. They couldn't have reverse-engineered our technology so quickly. Vrelika interjected, excitement evident in her voice. Not reverse-engineered, High Counselor. Independently developed. It's rudimentary, but the principles are there. These humans, they're full of surprises. For the first time since the mission began, Zixnath felt a flicker of uncertainty. The humans were not behaving like any primitive species they had encountered before. They were adapting, innovating at an astonishing rate. The carefully laid plans of the Zarkonian Empire were already being challenged by this upstart species from a backwater planet. As the deadline for Earth's response drew near, both humanity and the Zarkonians found themselves reassessing their positions. The humans, facing an existential threat, were uniting and innovating in ways they never had before. The Zarkonians, confronted with a species that defied their categorizations, were beginning to wonder if they had underestimated their intended clients. Commander Foster's plan was set in motion. As Earth's official response was being prepared, covert operations were underway. Hackers worked tirelessly to probe the Zarkonian communications. Quantum physicists pushed the boundaries of human understanding to bridge the technological gap, and diplomats prepared for the most important negotiations in human history. The stage was set for a confrontation that would define the future of humanity and potentially reshape the power dynamics of the entire galaxy. As the 24-hour deadline approached its final minutes, both sides held their breath, knowing that the next moments would change everything. The awakened giant was about to make its first move on the cosmic chessboard, and the Zarkonian Empire was about to learn that humanity was far more than a simple pawn in their galactic game. The cosmic chess game. As the 24-hour deadline set by the Zarkonians ticked away, the nations of Earth presented a unified front for perhaps the first time in human history. The response, carefully crafted and unanimously agreed upon, was delivered precisely 1 minute before the deadline. To the Zarkonian Empire, the message began, broadcast globally, and aimed at the alien ship hovering above. We, the people of Earth, acknowledge your presence and the momentous nature of this first contact. We are honored by your interest in our world and our species. However, we must respectfully decline your offer of oversight. Humanity has always charted its own course, learning from our triumphs and our mistakes. We propose instead a mutual exchange of knowledge and culture as equals in the vast tapestry of the cosmos. The message continued, outlining proposals for peaceful interaction and cultural exchange, while firmly asserting humanity's right to self-determination. It was a masterpiece of diplomacy, blending humility with quiet strength, curiosity with caution. Aboard the Zarkonian ship, High Counselor Zixnath's expression was unreadable as the message played out. Fascinating, he chittered. They reject our offer, yet do so in a manner that invites further dialogue. Vrelka, your analysis. The chief scientist's tendrils writhed in excitement. It's brilliant, High Counselor. They've maneuvered us into a position where outright conquest would be seen as brutish and unjustified. They're forcing us to engage on their terms, all while presenting themselves as reasonable and open to cooperation. Sub-Commander Kreltix interjected, his tone cautious. But surely we're not bound by their perceptions. We could still proceed with the original plan. Zixnat's outer eyes narrowed. We could, but at what cost? No, this requires a more nuanced approach. Prepare a response. We'll play their game for now. As the Zarkonians deliberated, Earth held its breath. In command centers and living rooms alike, humans waited to see if their gambit had paid off or if they had just sealed their fate. Commander Jake Foster paced the deck of the U.S. Nimitz, his mind racing. They'll respond soon, he muttered to Admiral Reeves. And when they do, we need to be ready to push our advantage. Reeves raised an eyebrow. Advantage? Foster, we're still massively outgunned and outedged. Foster's eyes gleamed with determination. Technologically, yes, but we've shown them something they didn't expect: unity and adaptability. Now we need to show them our creativity and unpredictability. Before Reeves could respond, alarms blared across the ship. The Zarkonian vessel was moving, descending into the atmosphere. In Washington, D.C., Dr. Ilara Chen burst into the Situation Room, her face flushed with excitement. Mr. President, they're coming down. But not just here. We're getting reports of smaller craft descending at multiple points around the globe. The president's face was grim. Invasion. Chen shook her head. I don't think so. The energy readings are all wrong for weapons. I think they're accepting our proposal for cultural exchange. As the world watched in awe, Zarkonian shuttles touched down in major cities across the planet. From Beijing to Buenos Aires, alien delegates emerge, their insectoid forms both terrifying and mesmerizing to the watching crowds. In New York, at the hastily prepared United Nations reception, High Counselor Zixnath himself made an appearance. As he approached the podium, flanked by human security and his own guards, the atmosphere was electric with tension and possibility. People of Earth, Zixnath began, his words translated in real time. Your response has intrigued us. While the Zarkonian Empire has encountered many species in our long history, few have shown your level of unity and determination in the face of such a paradigm shift. We accept your proposal for cultural exchange with certain conditions. As Zixnath outlined the terms, restricted technology transfers, limited human expansion beyond Earth for the time being, and Zarkonian observers in key human institutions, the real game began behind the scenes. Commander Foster, watching the broadcast from the Nimitz, turned to his team. This is it. Operation Trojan Horse is a go. Let's show them what humanity can really do. Across the globe, as official delegations met with the Zarkonians, covered teams of Earth's brightest minds were put into action. Linguists worked tirelessly to decipher nuances in Zarkonian communication. Anthropologists studied every gesture and interaction for insights into their social structure. And most importantly, scientists and engineers began the monumental task of understanding and adapting Zarkonian technology. Dr. Chen found herself at the forefront of this effort. Her unique insights into quantum mechanics, combined with the new data from Zarkonian tech, led to breakthroughs that would have been impossible just days before. It's like they've handed us the Rosetta Stone of the universe, she explained to a group of wide-eyed colleagues. Their tech isn't just advanced. It's based on principles we've only theorized about. But now that we see it in action, we can start to bridge the gap. Meanwhile, Foster's plan was unfolding with precision. As the Zarkonians focused on official channels, human hackers launched subtle, nearly undetectable probes into their systems. It wasn't about stealing information outright. It was about understanding how they thought, how they structured their data, and most importantly, where their blind spots might be. But the Zarkonians were far from oblivious. Vrilka, ever observant, noticed patterns in human behavior that set off alarm bells in her analytical mind. High Counselor, she reported, her tendrils twitching with concern. The humans are adapting to our presence far more quickly than anticipated. Their questions, their focus, they're not just trying to understand us, they're looking for weaknesses. Zixnath's mandibles clicked in thought, as any intelligent species would. The question is, do they pose a genuine threat, or are they simply ensuring their own security? Kreltix, ever the pragmatist, offered a grim suggestion. We could end this charade now, High Counselor. A show of force would remind them of their place. But Zixnath was intrigued. For the first time in centuries, the Zarkonian Empire faced a genuine challenge. It wasn't a military threat, not yet, but an intellectual and strategic one. These humans, with their rapid adaptation and unpredictable creativity, presented a puzzle that the High Counselor found irresistible. No, Zixnath decided. We will continue as planned. But increase our surveillance. I want to know everything these humans do, every breakthrough they make. They may yet prove to be valuable allies or worthy adversaries. As the days turned into weeks, the dance continued. On the surface, cultural exchanges and diplomatic meetings painted a picture of growing cooperation between humanity and the Zarkonian Empire. Beneath the surface, both sides maneuvered for advantage in a high-stakes game of cosmic chess. Humanity, for its part, was experiencing a renaissance of innovation and unity. Old rivalries were set aside in the face of a common goal. Scientists who once competed now collaborated, sharing breakthroughs and building on each other's work at an unprecedented pace. Foster's Operation Trojan Horse yielded results beyond their wildest expectations. By studying Zarkonian technology and tactics, humans began to close the gap far more quickly than their visitors had thought possible. Quantum computing, once a distant dream, became a reality. Energy production and storage saw leaps that solved climate crises almost overnight. But it wasn't just in technology that humanity showed its strength. The arts flourished, with new forms of expression emerging that blended human emotion with Zarkonian aesthetics. Philosophers and ethicists grappled with new questions of identity and place in the universe, pushing the boundaries of human thought. Dr. Chen, working tirelessly with her global team, had a breakthrough that would change everything. Late one night, as she pored over data from the latest Zarkonian tech demonstration, something clicked. "Oh my God," she whispered, her eyes wide. "It's not just about the technology. It's about how they think." She rushed to share her discovery with Foster and the top brass. Her insight was simple yet profound. The Zarkonians, for all their advancement, thought in linear, predictable patterns. Their technology, their strategies, even their art, all followed logical progressions that, once understood, could be anticipated. "They're brilliant," Chen explained, her words tumbling out in excitement, "but they lack our creative leaps. They don't make intuitive jumps or illogical connections that lead to new ideas. That's our advantage." Foster's eyes lit up with understanding. "So we can predict their moves and surprise them with ours," Chen finished. As this realization spread through Earth's leadership, strategies were adjusted. The game of cosmic chess entered a new phase, with humanity playing moves that the Zarkonians never saw coming. But the Zarkonians were far from defeated. As they began to realize the true potential and threat that humanity posed, divisions arose within their ranks. Some, like Vrelka, argued for closer cooperation, seeing humans as a valuable resource to be cultivated. Others, led by the increasingly paranoid Kreltix, pushed for immediate subjugation before humans could become a real threat. Zixnath found himself caught in the middle, fascinated by human potential, but wary of the danger it posed to Zarkonian dominance. As tensions rose both within his empire and in dealings with Earth, he knew that the next moves would determine the fate of both species. The cosmic chess game was approaching its critical stage. Humanity, the underdog, had proven itself a worthy player. The Zarkonians, for the first time in eons, faced a choice between embracing change and clinging to their old ways of conquest. As both sides prepared for the next phase of their interstellar relationship, one thing was clear. The awakening of humanity had sent ripples through the galaxy that would be felt for millennia to come. The true test of both species lay not in their technology or their strength, but in their ability to grow, adapt, and perhaps find a way to coexist in the vast, unforgiving expanse of the cosmos. Turning the tides. 6 months had passed since the Zarkonians first revealed themselves to humanity. In that time, the face of Earth had changed dramatically. Sleek, alien-inspired architecture now punctuated city skylines. Hover vehicles zipped between buildings, their quiet hum a testament to the quantum leap in human technology. But beneath the gleaming surface of progress, tension simmered. Commander Jake Foster stood in the control room of Harmony 1, Earth's first orbital defense platform. Through the panoramic windows, he could see the blue marble of Earth below, and just beyond, the looming presence of the Zarkonian mothership. "Status report," he barked, his eyes never leaving the alien vessel. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, Dr. Ilara Chen's younger sister and a prodigy in her own right, responded crisply. "All systems nominal, Commander. Our quantum shields are at full capacity, and the phased array cannons are charged and ready." Foster nodded, a grim smile playing on his lips. The defense platform, a marvel of human ingenuity and reverse-engineered Zarkonian tech, was officially a joint project in the spirit of cultural exchange. Unofficially, it was humanity's insurance policy. "And our special package?" Foster asked quietly. Sarah's eyes gleamed. "In place and undetected. Sir, Operation Pandora is ready to launch on your command." Meanwhile, aboard the Zarkonian mothership, High Counselor Zixnath was facing a crisis. His inner circle was fractured, divided between those who saw humanity as a threat to be eliminated and those who viewed them as potential allies. "The humans have advanced too quickly," Kreltix argued, his mandibles clicking furiously. "They'd weaponized our own technology against us. We must strike now before it's too late." Vrelika, her tendrils waving in agitation, countered, "and start an interstellar war. The humans have shown remarkable adaptability and creativity. Imagine what we could achieve together if we truly collaborated." Zixnath raised all 4 of his arms, silencing the bickering. "Enough. We cannot ignore the potential threat the humans pose, but neither can we disregard their potential as allies. We need more information." He turned to a holographic display showing Earth's rapidly evolving defense systems. "Prepare a probe. We need to understand the full extent of their capabilities." Back on Earth, in a secure underground facility, Dr. Ilara Chen was putting the finishing touches on Project Prometheus. What had started as a desperate attempt to understand alien technology had blossomed into something far more profound. A new theory of physics that unified quantum mechanics and relativity in ways Einstein could only have dreamed of. "Dr. Chen," a young assistant called out, "we're receiving a priority message from Harmony 1. The Zarkonians are launching some kind of probe." Ilara's heart raced. This was the moment they'd been preparing for. "Alert Commander Foster. It's time to light the fire." Across the globe, hidden quantum transmitters activated, linking Earth's most brilliant minds in a vast, instantaneous network. The plan they had worked on in secret for months was about to be put to the test. As the Zarkonian probe descended towards Earth, it suddenly found itself enveloped in a shimmering field of energy. To the aliens' shock, their advanced sensors went dark, cut off from the mothership. Aboard Harmony 1, Foster watched with tense anticipation. "Now, Lieutenant Chen, initiate Operation Pandora." Sarah's fingers flew over her console, across the Earth's surface, and in hidden installations throughout the solar system, quantum beacons blazed to life. They formed an intricate web of energy, enveloping not just the probe, but the entire Zarkonian mothership. On the alien vessel, alarms blared. Zixnath watched in disbelief as system after system went offline. "What is the meaning of this?" he demanded. Vrelika, her scientific mind racing, realized the truth first. It's a quantum entanglement field. They've linked our systems to theirs. We're locked out of our own ship. In that moment, the balance of power shifted. Humanity, in one audacious move, had neutralized the technological advantage of their would-be conquerors. Foster's voice boomed across all frequencies, reaching every corner of Earth, and the Zarkonian ship. Attention, Zarkonian Empire. Your vessel and technology are now under our control. We have no desire for conflict, but we will not be subjugated. We invite you to join us in peaceful negotiation. As equals. The silence that followed was deafening. Humanity held its breath, wondering if they had just averted a war or started one. Zixnath, for the first time in his long life, felt a mixture of fear and grudging respect. These humans, whom they had dismissed as primitive just months ago, had outmaneuvered the mighty Zarkonian Empire. How? He whispered, more to himself than anyone else. Vrelka, her scientific curiosity overriding her shock, answered, they didn't just copy our technology, Counselor. They understood it, improved upon it, and then made intuitive leaps we never considered. It's beautiful in a terrifying way. Kreltix, his earlier bravado evaporated, slumped in defeat. We've lost. The humans have bested us. But Zixnath, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly as he processed the situation, saw something his subordinates missed. No, he said slowly, we haven't lost. We've been given an opportunity. In the tense hours that followed, as diplomats and leaders from both sides scrambled to navigate this new reality, a fundamental shift occurred in the cosmic order. Humanity, led by the unlikely trio of Commander Foster's strategic brilliance, Dr. Chen's scientific insights, and the unified efforts of a planet that had found common purpose, had asserted itself on the galactic stage. The Zarkonians, faced with the first real challenge to their supremacy in millennia, were forced to reassess their place in the universe. As negotiations began in earnest, now on a truly equal footing, both species found themselves on the brink of an unprecedented era of cooperation and mutual growth. Foster, watching the proceedings from Harmony One, allowed himself a moment of pride. Humanity had not just survived first contact. They had thrived, turning a potential conquest into a partnership that would reshape the galaxy. Dr. Chen, her life's work vindicated beyond her wildest dreams, looked to the stars with newfound wonder. The universe had just become a much larger, more exciting place, and High Counselor Zixnath, as he prepared to address his people and explain this new paradigm, felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries: hope for a future filled with genuine discovery and growth. The cosmic chess game had reached a stalemate, but in doing so had opened up an entirely new board, with new rules and infinite possibilities. As Earth celebrated its emergence onto the galactic stage, and the Zarkonians grappled with their new reality, one thing became clear: the awakening of humanity was not just a moment in history, but the beginning of a new cosmic era. The stars, once distant and unreachable, now beckoned with the promise of adventures yet to come. Humanity, having faced its greatest challenge, stood ready to take its place among the celestial powers, not as conquerors or the conquered, but as pioneers of a new age of interstellar cooperation. The next chapter in the story of the cosmos was about to be written, and for the first time, humanity would be holding the pen. A new dawn for humanity. 5 years had passed since the day humanity turned the tables on the Zarkonian Empire. The solar system buzzed with activity, a testament to the unprecedented era of growth and innovation that followed the historic first contact. Mars, once a barren red planet, now sparkled with the domes of the first human Zarkonian joint colony. The asteroid belt had been transformed into a vast shipyard, where vessels of human and alien design were constructed side by side. And at the edge of the system, the first faster-than-light probe prepared for its maiden voyage to the stars. Commander Jake Foster, now Admiral Foster, stood aboard the bridge of the HSS Prometheus, Earth's first true starship. Beside him, Dr. Ilara Chen watched the final preparations with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Hard to believe how far we've come, Foster mused, his eyes reflecting the starlight streaming through the viewscreen. Ilara nodded, a smile playing on her lips. From nearly being conquered to embarking on our first extrasolar mission, it's been quite a journey. But their reminiscence was cut short as alarms blared across the ship. Lieutenant Sarah Chen's voice came over the comms, tense and urgent. "Admiral, we're detecting multiple FTL signatures entering the system. It's not the Zarkonians." Foster's eyes narrowed. "First contact protocols, everyone. Let's not jump to conclusions." As the crew of the Prometheus scrambled to battle stations, a fleet of sleek, crystalline ships emerged from hyperspace. Their design was unlike anything humans or Zarkonians had ever encountered. A transmission crackled through the ship's speakers, the words oddly accented but clear. "Attention, inhabitants of this star system. We are the Concordiate, guardians of galactic order. Your recent ascension has not gone unnoticed. Prepare to be evaluated." Foster and Ilara exchanged glances. This was the moment they had both feared and anticipated. Humanity's introduction to the wider galactic community. Back on Earth, in the newly constructed United Earth headquarters, President Amelia Rodriguez received the news with grim determination. "Contact the Zarkonian High Council," she ordered. "Remind them of our mutual defense pact." High Counselor Zixnath, his once adversarial relationship with humanity now transformed into a strong alliance, didn't hesitate. "The Zarkonian fleet stands ready to defend our human allies," he declared, his mandibles clicking with resolve. As tensions mounted, Dr. Chen made a startling discovery. Analyzing the Concordiate's transmission, she noticed patterns that seemed oddly familiar. "Admiral," she gasped, "their language, their technology. It's based on the same principles as the Zarkonians, just more advanced." Foster's mind raced, piecing together the implications. "They're not here to evaluate us," he realized. "They're here to evaluate the Zarkonians, to see how they handled a newly discovered species." With this insight, Foster made a bold decision. Instead of responding with military force, he opened a channel to the Concordiate fleet. "Greetings, guardians of galactic order," he began, his voice steady. "We welcome you to our system and invite you to witness the fruits of cooperation between humanity and the Zarkonian Empire." What followed was a display of unity and advancement that left the Concordiate observers stunned. Humans and Zarkonians, working in perfect harmony, demonstrated technologies and scientific concepts that even the advanced Concordiate found impressive. Dr. Chen, taking center stage, presented her unified field theory, a breakthrough that promised to revolutionize space travel and energy production across the galaxy. "This is not just human science," she explained, "nor is it purely Zarkonian. It's a synthesis, born from the unique strengths of both our species." The Concordiate leaders, their crystalline forms shimmering with what seemed like excitement, conferred among themselves. Finally, their leader addressed the assembled humans and Zarkonians. "In all our millennia of watching over the galaxy, we have never witnessed such a rapid and peaceful integration of two species. Your alliance has not only preserved peace, but has accelerated progress in ways we thought impossible." Zixnath stepped forward, his posture proud but humble. "We owe much to our human allies," he admitted. "Their creativity and adaptability challenged us to grow beyond our rigid thinking. Together, we have achieved more than either of us could have alone." President Rodriguez, joining the conversation via hologram, added, "And we have learned invaluable lessons in diplomacy and cosmic perspective from the Zarkonians. Our alliance is proof that diversity, when embraced, leads to strength." The Concordiate leader's crystalline form pulsed with light. "Then it is decided. Not only do we welcome the human-Zarkonian alliance into the galactic community, but we invite you both to join the Concordiate as full members. Your unique partnership may well be the key to solving conflicts that have plagued our galaxy for eons." As the news spread across Earth, and the Zarkonian worlds, celebrations erupted. The fear of cosmic insignificance that had gripped humanity upon first contact had been replaced by a sense of purpose and belonging in the vast tapestry of galactic civilization. Admiral Foster, watching the festivities from the bridge of the Prometheus, felt a sense of completion. "You know," he said to Ilara, "when I first saw the Zarkonian ship 5 years ago, I thought it was the beginning of the end for humanity." Ilara laughed, her eyes twinkling. "Instead, it was just the end of the beginning. Our real journey is just starting." As the Prometheus prepared for its delayed but now even more significant maiden voyage, humans and Zarkonians worked side by side, their differences becoming their greatest strength. The ship was no longer just a symbol of human achievement, but a testament to the power of cooperation and mutual understanding. The galaxy watched in fascination as this young, vibrant alliance took its first steps into the cosmic community. Humanity's awakening had not only secured its own future, but had reshaped the very fabric of galactic society. In universities across 1,000 worlds, scholars began studying the human factor, that unique blend of adaptability, creativity, and determination that had allowed a primitive species to rise to galactic prominence in less than a decade. Zarkonian philosophers grappled with new ideas of progress and change, their once stagnant culture infused with human dynamism, and humans, their horizons expanded beyond imagination, approached the universe with a mixture of wonder and responsibility. As the Prometheus finally engaged its FTL drive, carrying a crew of humans, Zarkonians, and Concordiate observers to the stars, Admiral Foster gave the order that would echo through history: "Take us forward into humanity's next great adventure." The ship disappeared in a flash of light, leaving behind a solar system transformed, a galaxy intrigued, and a future bright with possibilities. The human awakening, sparked by a chance encounter and forged in the crucible of potential conflict, had become a beacon of hope for the entire cosmos. As species across the galaxy looked to the human-Zarkonian alliance for inspiration, one thing became clear: